so much for joining with me today as we begin to explore the power of transformative thinking in leadership. Not just the boardroom, but in our everyday lives. Whether you're guiding your family through a challenge, coordinating a community project, or simply up-leveling your personal growth, a transformative mindset inspires meaningful change as well as broadens our impact. We're going to talk about 3 ways to elevate leadership in practical ways. And I'm talking about in our everyday life, whether I'm at work or I'm at home or I'm, playing a sport or at the gym working out, grocery shopping, or maybe just, out having a good time. Leadership shows up in our everyday life. And how do we do this? Number 1, turning challenges into growth opportunities. Real leadership often shows itself in the everyday hurdles we face, whether it's juggling a demanding job while staying present with your family or navigating a personal setback that tests our resilience. Have you ever experienced something that is testing you? You're going through a testing phase. That can be looked at as, I've done something wrong, or maybe this isn't for me now. Or I can look at it as this is a moment for me to grow, to shine, and to learn, to get over that hurdle and to begin to see the next step or phase of that part of my life. When we adopt a growth mindset, we begin to train our mind to see possibilities rather than seeing obstacles. When I look at things in my life, I try to see the possibilities, not like, those that others, when they see things that maybe they don't have the answer to, or they don't have all of the dots to connect them to get to the next point. They see them as hurdles or obstacles. I want to see those obstacles or hurdles as possibilities, as a growth opportunity in my life. Ask yourself, how can this challenge become an opportunity to grow? How do we begin to see or turn challenges that we have into growth opportunities? By beginning to flip the script or shift the way that we think about something. And one of the best ways to do that is to begin to ask ourselves questions to help us to see from a different perspective. So a question, again, I want to say, often ask yourself, how can this challenge become an opportunity for me to grow? This single question shifts your perspective from feeling stuck to taking purposeful action. Maybe it means restructuring your schedule to carve out moments of peace, reaching out for help, or leaning into a new skill that strengthens your ability to adapt. When you approach challenges as stepping stones, you transform setbacks into catalysts for progress. Stepping stones can be a few different things. Maybe you're short like me and you need to get a step stool, or you got to climb on the counter to get to the thing at the top of the shelf. And there's no one else around you that can actually just reach it without having any other stepping stones or assistance to get you to that place. We can look at that as an obstacle. So maybe we're like, well, how do we get there? Or I can't climb, on the counter to reach that. So then you feel like it's out of reach and it's not possible. Or you can look at, okay, what can I get that's going to get me to where I need to be so I can begin to jump over that hurdle. That's a stepping stone. It's something that can help you get to the next place. It's not a setback. And beginning to think differently, shifting our mindset just 1 degree sometimes help us to see things differently. The next time you encounter a stumbling block, big or small, pause to write it down and to give a proactive step that you can take. Sometimes when we write things down, we can see it from a different perspective. It helps us to see things not with all of the feelings and emotions that come with what we're going through at the time, but it helps us to put it in black and white so we can see things differently. And then write 1 step. Don't plan the whole thing out. Just write 1 practical step you can take to help you to get to that next level. This small act of mapping out a response is often the first step forward to move towards growth. Number 1, we turn challenges into growth opportunities. Number 2, we empower the people around us. Leadership also means lifting others up. A lot of times we think a good leader is someone that leads and paves the way. They're the tip of the arrow. But that is not all that they are. They are the ones that realize that they can't do it on their own, and they're helping people to get to that next level. As you up-level yourself, up-leveling the team as you go is going to help you accomplish greater things. Whether it's your spouse, your kids, your coworkers, or friends, it's not about taking charge of their lives. And I know sometimes we see things differently and we think that we have the answers for someone else's life. But can I tell you, it is not our job to take responsibility of their life and taking charge. No, it's our responsibility to come alongside them and empower them for growth, lifting them up and empowering them and helping them to see that they have the ability inside themselves. Let us be a support, maybe a guide, a motivator to help them to discover their own potential. When someone sees their own potential, when they realize that they have everything that they need inside of them, it's just a matter of extracting it, learning how to sharpen those skills, learning how to pull out that confidence, then we can help them see their own potential and they can begin to do things on their own and they don't need us anymore. One way that we can do this is by asking questions. One of the greatest things that I have learned over the past 3 to 5 years is the power of questions. I may know the answer, but me knowing the answer isn't going to help them. Sometimes we need to have an answer, but the majority of the time when we're helping someone grow, when we're helping someone see their own potential, it's helping them to unlock their own mindset, to begin to see the things that you see, the treasures that maybe they don't know that are there. The question is, what do you need right now? Not asking, closed-in questions that you're trying to lead them somewhere, but open-ended questions that helps them discover. This question fosters an atmosphere of support and genuine listening, helping you identify ways to help others to thrive. That is one of the things that I love most when I see other people unlock their potential, begin to realize, build confidence, feel empowered to do the things that they were called to do, and step out and beginning to do them. Imagine a coworker who's been so overwhelmed by a project, and you offering a brainstorming session together to share and encourage resources that can spark them to regain momentum. You're not the savior of the story. It's not you unlocking those things. It's you helping them unlock what they already have. Or maybe a family member feels stuck in just the routine of life and they just want to get unstuck. Just simply lending them an ear to listen, to, maybe ask questions and just to sit and talk with them. They could consider new ideas or find fresh motivation. I want to encourage you to maybe set aside one intentional conversation each week, whether it's at work or at home, where your sole aim is to understand what the other person needs and not just understands what they need, but understand how you can support them. You can be amazed on how this can deepen relationships, and then it empowers others to unlock their potential and do the things that they were called to do. When they feel seen and heard, it's amazing what people will begin to do, whether it's rising to the occasion or feeling success just in a moment, can unlock peace and joy and hope in their everyday life. And number 3, committing to continuous learning. One thing that I have really begun to enjoy in my life is really the power of learning. The power of transforming the way that I think about a certain topic or about my past and my experiences and about other people's lives and their experiences, growing and learning and continuing to grow and learn. Life is a journey and so is growth. Learning is a mindset. It's realizing and understanding that we will never know everything, that we've never arrived, but it's a journey that we get to take. When I learn something new, it's like, walking outside and smelling the flowers that are just blooming or hearing the birds begin to sing. Leaders should never stop learning. This doesn't mean you have to enroll in formal education programs, go and get another degree, a 12-month-long certification. Some of us don't have the ability to do that for various reasons, but rather it's about weaving learning into the very fabric of our everyday life. Whether you're exploring a new online course, you're reading a short book, you get Masterclass, the Masterclass app, and you subscribe and you listen to what other people and experts are doing, and you begin to gain little nuggets that helps you continue to grow on this journey of life. Whether it's, reading a book. And my husband, honestly, he is so great about reading books, and he retains so much when he reads them. And I'm like, babe, can you just give me the Spark Notes? I love the audio version, but I'm also the one that I want the points. Give me the nuggets. I want the meat. I love the stories, but I don't need 10 stories. I don't need 500 ways to accomplish the one thing. I need the meat. Give me the meat. That's what I want. I want to eat that. I want to digest it. So whatever it is that you need to do, but make learning fun. Make learning a part of our everyday life. Improving our communication skills. Why? Not just so we can tell good stories, but communication is a two-way street. It's like playing tennis. Good communication is when we're both hitting the ball back and forth. It's not the spike and you mic drop moments. No, communication is both people understanding and getting, and both people being able to communicate. It's a two-way street. When you adopt a mindset of continuous learning, you demonstrate adaptability and resilience. You also model the value of growth to those around you, showing that progress is an ongoing journey rather than a destination, someplace we're never going to get to. Over time, these small increments of learning compound, boosting your confidence and your capacity to lead effectively. Mind. Working out our mind, you don't see the results immediately. You see the results over time. You say, how do I do this? Maybe just set aside 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes that's purposefully just set aside to learning, whether it's an article that you're reading, listening to something, listening to someone, putting on a podcast, whatever that may be. Whatever interests you right now, start with something that you want to learn. Start with something, an area that you want to grow in, and begin to do it that way. Practicing a new technique that enhances your leadership style. I want to end with this. Transformative thinking in leadership isn't about a fancy title. Can I tell you, titles are great, but titles don't define you, and they shouldn't define you. It shouldn't be like, ooh, I've arrived and no longer do I need to go anywhere. We should always seek to learn and to grow. It's about seeing challenges as pathways, empowering those around you, and maintaining an unending thirst for knowledge. So how do you plan to weave in these principles in your everyday life? Think about your own challenges and the people you influence that influence you, whether it's at home, at work, or in your community. What specific action will you take today to amplify growth, create opportunities for collaboration, and learning? Thank you so much for joining with me today. I want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe, and join with me as we begin to turn everyday moments into transformative breakthroughs as we continue to discover the power of transformative thinking. Thank you so much. Bye.